Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Venti is large.
No, Venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
Honey, that's great coffee.
Coffee.
It's
Smell good ground coffee.
Okay, buddy, what do you think of Wilkins coffee? I never tasted it. Now, what do you think of Wilkins?
Good morning, everybody. Oh, wait, my logo. I got to get rid of that. Go away. Woo-wee. I enjoy watching the intro so much I get distracted. Oh my God, it's really good. It's really yummy. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy 4th of July for those of you here in the United States, the colonies. Let's get over here to the comments section. I want to say good morning to Gap Stargate. How are you doing, man? Mexican Iron Man already out of the gate with the $4.99 super chat. Saw this show, all of it, in one day yesterday. Amazing, well done. I'm not sure what show you're talking about, bud. Which one are you talking about, Matt? Mike? I almost called you Mexican. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to each other. It'll be a slow start today. It's 4th of July. I'm surprised any of you fuckers are watching right now. I'm only doing it because it helps me keep my sanity. I like my new background. This is USA Day. Hey, you know what? I got to tell you, Martin wished me a happy 4th of July. And I deeply appreciate that, man. This is one of my favorite holidays of the year because, what it means. Oh, is that what you're talking about, Mike? You watched all of the Terminal List. Outstanding. What a really fucking good show. And just do a cursory search. Yeah, absolutely. Stranger Things. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about Stranger Things. It's not really the topic for today. We're going to be talking more about that. Fat Steven and I will on Shit Talk on Wednesday. And we're also going to be talking about the Lazarus Project. I actually think it's a really good show, but I want to get more into it on Wednesday with Steven, because Steven is the one who talked me into seeing it, watching the show, the Lazarus Project. But simply put, though, I will tell you that I really thought they did it. This season of Stranger Things is the best season they've done. Absolutely, some of the best storytelling, some of the best performances, everything, and some really interesting horror that really on it stands on its own, but also is a great nod to some classic stuff. Well, we saw another one called 7 Days, and there was another series too that was in the early 2000s that was shot in Australia, and it was an American show, but it was shot in Australia. But because it was syndicated, it didn't belong to any network. Not too many people know the show, and but I really like the idea of that backup plan of if you see that the Earth is about to be devastated, that you can create a loop and go back to another date and give yourself more time to work on something. So it's an interesting concept, and I can see where it could be abused and where it could cause problems. And of course, that's where I think they're headed with the show. I'm only 2 shows in. Oh, that sounds good, Mike. Good morning, Marcos. Happy 4th. Absolutely. I actually opened the show today with the national anthem, and that was kind of nice. But let's get into this shit, because I'm still fascinated by how stupid critics are to think that they're not going to be figured out. I don't know how they're getting away with this shit. And eventually it's going to hurt them. It's going to bite them in the butt. And here's a prime example. Okay, I did a cursory search. Just look up the terminal list. And the first news stories, just look at them right here. Look at this shit. I'm going to make it the main screen here. First 4 stories right at the top. Chris Pratt keeps making terrible choices. Prime Video's The Terminal. This is Roger Ebert. Prime Video's The Terminal list is in an alpha male cry for help. Absolutely, they fucking hate this shit. They get all kinds of fucking beta shit for them to enjoy, but oh no, do a show about an alpha male, and oh my God, they're going to fucking lose their minds. The Terminal list review, but why though? Yeah, why did they make it? That was, who is that? I can't read the name there. Hold on. Give me a second. That is, it's a geek community. And then the Daily Beast, Chris Pratt's The Terminal list is unhinged right-wing revenge fantasy. And the top one, making terrible choices, is news.com Australia. So, yeah, it's just all this fucking hate from the established critics. And then let's skip over and take a look at, there we go. I need to share a new screen. Where is it at? Terminal list. There it is. Boom, baby. %, audience review. And networks and studios need to only pay attention to that one, because that left one, with only 34%, makes them no money. In fact, it costs them money. The audience is the one that pays them. That's the score that matters to a studio or network right there. And yet they ignore it, constantly ignore it, because they're fucking idiots. And it gets so exhausting. Why critics are still getting paid to do this shit. With the advent of social media, they are redundant. They're not necessary anymore. But what they are marketing tools for the studios, because they pay for that. That's why I say they cost the studio money, because they're paid in many different ways. Sometimes through favors. Access is what I mean, having access to things. and then they're paid actual money. They're shills. You know, which I think should be as criminal as payola, if anybody remembers that shit back in the 50s. This is embarrassing for critics right now. When you see that wide a gap between audiences, I mean, who are they writing these reviews for? You know, they're clearly not writing for the audience because the audience fucking loves it. It's just ridiculous. I'm telling you right now. These motherfuckers just pissed me off to no end. And I was a paid critic. I worked for years as both a journalist and as a film critic. And I used to get pressure from my editor-in-chief to, don't you think you should rethink what you said there? Because I really liked that film. I didn't. And the movie that caused that little kerfuffle between him and me was called The Last Supper. I don't know if you remember that film. Hold on. 95, here it is. Oh my God, I fucking hated this movie so fucking much. There we go. Let's open that shit up. I will share that. This film came out in 1995 and just absolutely irritated me. I couldn't stand the movie. There you go. I didn't think it was that funny. And then the guy that's dead there at the end of the table is Bill Paxton. And he's a fucking Iraq war vet. And it fucking pissed me off. Your typical leftist Hollywood garbage. Killing a fucking veteran. And they made the veteran look like an asshole. And that just irked me. It's not like there aren't assholes in the military. But, you know, there's a very small percentage of fucking assholes. In anything. And that's the one you pick to do. It just, I can't stand it. Because that's why I work with Dale Dye. I mean, Dale Dye and I see eye to eye with him. Always have. And never disparage a veteran. Never disparage a soldier. You know, and he has problems with some of the directors he's worked with because that's what they wanted to do. But anyway, that's a piece of shit movie. I've hated it for years. Okay, hold on a second. I see you said something to me, Bill. I watched latest Skinwalker Ranch. It was good. The UFO at the end there, that shot off, by the way, how many episodes a season? There seems to be more than previous seasons. I don't know. I forget counts, episode counts for that series. I just watch until I realize, oh, there's no more. But it's a time-occupying show because things are happening. And Fat Steven just posted a video of another incident that took place on the West Coast. And fucking freaky, man. This shit's happening on a regular basis. And now, finally, because the DOD did what they did, the media is paying attention. I hate the media, man. Fucking assholes. But yeah, I don't know how many are going to be this season. I'm hoping we get more. Because I love that show so fucking much. I really do. I'm terrified of it because it's reality. It's not fucking sci-fi. This shit's happening. Yeah, it's interesting what's going on there. So, hey, hold on a second, guys. There's Keith.
Hey,
Happy 4th of July, buddy.
Happy 4th of July to you and everyone out there. Hopefully everything's going well for you guys today.
Same to you, Keith.
Yeah, like I keep telling everybody, man, be safe, please.
Yeah.
I don't want, man. 4th of July and fucking New Year's are the two most dangerous holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all the alcohol.
Yeah.
Amongst other things, fireworks. Both holidays use fireworks.
Well, you know how we are. Any chance to just blow stuff up.
Yeah, buddy. So I was just pissing and moaning about critics, and I was showing how the Terminal list reviews, the gap is just mind-boggling. And it begs the question who they're writing for. And they're not writing for the viewers. They're not writing for the audience. So stop reading them.
Yeah.
Don't read their fucking reviews because they're garbage. Listen
in my mind,
to the people you trust that think like you, that enjoy things like you. Yeah. That's who you listen to.
Yeah. That's the best advice. Look, this is corporate entertainment now. I think everyone out there.
Well, yeah, we were just talking about corporate because I brought up a majority of these guys, and I'll let you finish this, but this goes into what you're talking about. When I said that a lot of these critics, these paid, established critics, are paid through favors, they're paid through access, and they're paid through actual money, which I think should be criminal. Like payola. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Well, again,
so go on with what you're saying, because that's what I led into.
We have reached corporate entertainment, and not just entertainment, corporate news, which is the most dangerous thing about current entertainment, especially when the last
corporate
decade.
And government supporting, depending on what
because
government.
Because look, here's the thing. There are even people who even talk like I that don't want you to hear, okay? This is not one side. This is both sides. We are talking people who have money on all sides politically, on all sides as far as business, because that is where they all function. They want everyone to be basically going after what they have. Mm-hmm. And if they have to fund, if you have one corporation, which I know there's at least a few that fund both sides politically, but also in terms of entertainment, you have some of the biggest, most woke companies that are probably being funded also by companies that also fund some of the most non-woke companies. This is about getting as much money out of us, the customers, as possible, being able to provide whatever they need to provide. In a large sense, this really is Westworld. This is the Westworld mentality.
Yeah, it is. And hold on, because we got to keep these things short. And I've got people putting super chats up, and I need to address them because I don't want to do a long show today.
Yeah.
I want to go back first before I do this one. I want to go all the way back to Mexican Iron Man because I did not give him his thank you video. This one is for you, Mexican Iron Man. Are you ready? Hope you're a Star Trek fan.
Cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war.
Perfect one for 4th of July. And then let's get back over. If you'll grab Mr. Tickle Trunks there. Say I have both an image and I don't know. Are you there, Martin?
Yes. I'm
okay.
Here.
If you grab Tickle Trunks super one. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. You are a bro. Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you for Canadian $2. You beat the English better, and here you go. Now I'm going to give you some history lesson because a lot of people don't know this, but Canadians should, if anybody should know this fact, that the Revolutionary War was us winning our liberty. But it took the War of 1812 to earn Britain's respect.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until we kicked their ass again. Now, we started that war by a stupid idea of invading Canada. But the fact was it was a necessary war because England was causing us all kinds of problems. That's why that ended up happening with Canada. Because we were getting pissed at the British because they were fucking with our fucking merchants on the seas. And so, basically, they were just assholes. They were just being assholes. And They saw us as lucky with the Revolutionary War, and the king did not respect us.
Well,
and
they were pissed that we broke up with him.
King George was pissed, and he harbored a grudge. And then the War of 1812 began, and it led to a couple of amazing things. This one is just for you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Here you go. In response to what you're saying, happy Freedom Day. There you go. Have fun at work tomorrow, England, which is today. Happy 4th of July, England.
You know,
and thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. And for you, I have another video. Let's see. What shall I play for him today? Oh, we can play this one. This one's always fun.
Johnny Red Neat, okay? Do it. Do it.
And then he does another sticker here. Hold on, he's got another sticker. Saw Terminal List 1 through 4. OMG, so good, right? So it's like, who are they talking to in these fucking reviews? You know, these critics, established critics. Like, who are they talking to? They're trying to sell us out of watching it. That's the two things they do. They try to sell us to watch something because it gets them things. And if they sell us not to watch something, it helps hurt an ideology. Because Roger Ebert's just, and what was the other one? Daily Beast, both absolutely show their fucking colors. You know, with talking about alpha males with Roger Ebert. And fucking the Beast, the Daily Beast says this is the right-wing revenge porn. And I'm like, you're a cunt. Anything that's not, you know, soft, pussified men, you do that. Fuck these people. Fuck these critics that are like that. Stop reading them. Stop giving them numbers. Pay attention to your friends that know something about movies. Find a critic that actually watches movies and likes movies you like. And also, pay attention to the average audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Ignore that one on the left. It means nothing. It won't help you. It won't tell you anything that you need to know as a movie fan. But again, thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. You are wonderful. I'm hoping you're safe up there in Canada. And I hope you get a chance to watch some of our festivities down here today. I always like going, when I grew up in Virginia, our big thing, my dad and I, was to go to Washington, D.C. and have 4th of July on the mall, which is that long strip between the Capitol building and the Lincoln Memorial. And we would just sit there as close as we get to the Washington Monument, because that's the best spot for the fireworks show. And they really do have one. I was there for the bicentennial back in 1976.
Oh, geez. I remember that was a party. That was a party.
Yeah, because we left there and we needed to head back to where the car was parked. And we walked down the street, just thousands of us walking through these streets, and looked up, and people were throwing confetti out as we walked down the street like a fucking parade. It was one of the most amazing experiences.
I think that was one of the last times that I can remember being younger that it really seemed like we truly connected as a country, except for maybe post 9/11 was the next time. But I mean, it was an amazing time for those of you that aren't old enough to remember the bicentennial. I mean, that was just,
it was
incredible.
Man. I was, how old was I? 12.
Yeah.
I was 12, man. It was something else. I loved it when the train came through, the 1776 train from Amtrak. They had the Bicentennial Museum inside. I love that, man. I love that. Hold on. They're not cunts. They don't have warmth, the depth. Okay. That's it. Ram Bam. Thank you, man. Ram Bam. Thank you, man.
Yes, I was 9 for the bicentennial. So
yeah, we're close enough in age. I would have played with you as a kid. You were right in the right age range for me to play with. But yes, they also hate Chris Pratt because, yeah, and they're using that, but he's actually come forward and says he's not that religious. He's, I don't know if it's the defense mechanism thing that he's doing, because he's always made a point of pointing out how his faith and everything, but I think he stepped up to try to cut this off, but no, it's still going to come. They're going to hit him no matter what. They don't like him. They don't like him because he represents Middle America, not just red state people, blue red state people too.
Well, there's a reason why you don't see a
there
lot
may
of...
be a liberal, but he's very patriotic.
There's a reason why you don't see too many people in the business that talk about where they are from, specifically if they're from the Midwest. And this isn't just a Brad Pitt thing, because I noticed this with Brad Pitt. He'll talk about being from the Midwest, but he won't say specifically.
Very conservative, yeah.
He won't specifically say. Now, at first, I thought it was like because of a political thing, but I've noticed that a majority of people in the business don't talk about where they're from if they're from the Midwest. And this goes unless you're actually either from Texas or Chicago, maybe a few other points there. They don't talk about it. Nobody does. I mean,
I was 12 years old, fucker. Fucking weirdo.
When
you dick.
The other thing is that there are like people like Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh from Iowa. He doesn't even talk about that. You have to actually look up someone's biography if they're from the Midwest to find out where they're from. And I've noticed that just seems to be a thing where people from the Midwest are penalized, it seems like, if you talk about it, if you celebrate being from the Midwest. Hell, James Gunn's from St. Louis. He doesn't talk about it.
Neither did his brother. Oh my God, his brother is in that movie, by the way, or in that series.
Yeah.
He is. I don't know if that was makeup, but he's got some weird shit going on with his body. In that show, and I don't.
What do you mean?
Watch The Terminal List and watch his episode.
Are you talking about the thing with his neck and shoulders?
No, with his chest. He's got scars there.
Yeah.
And he's got a birdcage, curved in shoulders. And it's because Joaquin Phoenix has that with one side where he's got the slight curvature of the shoulders where they curve forward.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Mr. Tickle Truck again with Canadian $2. Terminal List is Amazon's Punisher. Changed my mind. I'm not gonna. But I'll tell you this. I will say this. He's more Shadow and Batman than he is Punisher, because the Punisher is indiscriminate. He discriminates with who he's going to kill. And he is very mission oriented. The Punisher, I think he sort of just makes shit up as he goes along. This guy goes with a plan, which makes him more like the Shadow and Batman. But I do agree with you. He is still in many ways like a more realistic version of the Punisher if the Punisher were to be real. So is my Vindicated. Vindicated Inc. literally was my response to how would a Batman character or Punisher actually work? How would they do it in a realistic way? Well, here's the only way it would work. And the only way they would keep from being captured. And they would become one of the most, and in the show, he becomes one of the most hunted men in America. In fact, he becomes the most hunted man in America, his character, which is James, I think it's James Reese is the character's name. And he's supposedly the how do they refer to it in the reviews for the books is it's based on his own life and experiences, even though what happens to the character did not happen to him. All of the combat and stuff like that comes from his experiences. So, but anyway, I won't. He's probably hold on. What's that? He's. Thanks again, Tickle Trunk. Let me play you a quick video here. Ooh, like this.
Shakes? Me too. I get them bad. It's part of the business.
I'm not in the business. I am the business.
So there you go, Mr. Patron. Thank you very much. Tom Berenger's Sniper. I've only watched the first two films, the first one and then the sequel. I haven't watched any of the other ones, so I can't make that comparison, so or even understand that comparison. So I'm gonna have to go get caught up on those. Yeah, there you go. You know, people reviewing Terminal List are all up, and these aren't liberals that are doing this. These are leftists. Just understand that. And so you understand, Roger Ebert and I stopped talking because I kind of insulted him. You know, me, a lowly local movie critic, daring to criticize his criticism of film. And it was over the film. I just forgot the name. It's your classic noir thriller, but they were lesbians. It came out in '95, I think, or '96.
Blood Simple.
Meg Tilly, and or Jennifer Tilly and the Italian chick.
The one by the Wachowskis.
Yeah, and he was just raving about it. I said, "What are you talking about? Bringing something original to the screen? Everything in there is a trope from classic noir. There was nothing new there." I said, "What are you raving about? Are you raving because the two main characters were lesbians? Why are you reviewing films if that's the reason why you're doing that? Because that sounds more sociopolitical than it does quality of filmmaking." He did not like that. He didn't like it when I said that. He also didn't like it when I made fun of him for almost falling to his death on the stairs at the Virginia Theater. I was behind him and he was carrying a sub sandwich from the shop that we had gotten lunch at. And as he's going up the stairs to go see, we're getting ready to watch a 70 millimeter print of 2001: A Space Odyssey during Cyberfest. And I was walking up the stairs right behind him, and he stumbled and about fell. And instead of reaching to protect himself or his head, he fucking cuddled that fucking sandwich like a football. And he heard me giggle behind him when he got back up, and he turned and shot me a look, and I went, "Sandwich okay?"
Wow.
Oh, man. I irritated him. He was still always nice to me by email, but yeah, we weren't as friendly after those two incidents. I love watching people walk with a rifle, making perfect 90-degree turns one after another, like in episode 4. Yeah. That was what you call perfect CQB. I did mount training, CQB training. I was with an infantry unit. I partook in breaches, and I'm telling you, we were good at it. These fucking guys are absolute pros. And Chris Pratt making turns with his fucking weapon just fucking gave me the biggest fucking veteran hard-on I ever had. Just that shit turns me on when I see fucking soldiers doing things correctly. And fuck you, Kingsport Cal. I know you're going to twist that to something perverted.
Well, Chris Pratt has a really nice, I think, contract with Amazon, because this is now the second of the things that he's done with Amazon, and both of his projects are slated to have more additions added to them as projects. So both this and the Tomorrow War are getting sequels. So look, Chris Pratt definitely is someone who unfortunately you either love him a lot or you don't. And I can understand that there are people that probably, he's not their cup of tea, but you can't deny the fact that he's talented. To be able to play some of the parts that he has played over the last decade, you have to believe he's talented. I'm sorry, you can't deny that. You know, I wow. I mean, just what he played in Parks and Recreation alone. Not anybody could play that. Not everybody could play that character as well as he did.
Yeah,
For
because
me,
he's got the all-American thing down. And that's what's perfect for that role, because Navy SEALs tend to be really all-American guys.
Well, and that's really pretty much from the beginning of me finding, I mean, I first saw him on Everwood, which was the CW series, and he played pretty much like the roles he's now starting to play, except he's a lot younger, You can find episodes of that, I think, on the HBO Max app, and see his quote unquote debut, really, on the series Everwood, and he played the older brother of the main teen female lead, and he was really good at it. I mean, everybody in that show was really good. But Chris Pratt, yeah, he's a talented guy, and I don't think he would continue to be as successful if he weren't. I just think that it means a lot when someone like yourself really throws what they have behind a project like the Terminal List. So it definitely speaks highly of the work he was able to produce with that. I just wish Amazon would have that same care with a lot of other things they're doing. But that's just me,
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you again, Mexican Iron Man, for $4.99 super chat. Be done lots of tactical training, watching Pratt go back and forth from strong weapons. Yeah. His switching of weapons, also his mag dumps are some of the best I've seen. The only person I've seen do better or as good is Keanu in film. And they all handled their weapons really well. Fucking Kitchener, whatever his name is, that plays Ben, his handling of that fucking shoddy was beautiful.
Taylor Kitsch, yeah.
Taylor Kitsch, man, that was fucking really good stuff,
Oh,
man.
he is an amazing actor.
And by the way, Pratt did something, and I got into a fight with one of my army buddies. And he tried to say, you don't check your weapon that way. And I'm like, fuck you don't. The fuck you don't. The single hand slide where you check to see if your weapon's loaded, because your other hand might be doing something. So while it's doing whatever it does, you do a flip slide where you pull the slide forward with one hand and you look to see to make sure that there's a charged round. And then you slide back. You let it go back and you put, go back to your regular grip. He did it 3 times in the show, and Keanu did it once in where's the one when he fought the girl that was deaf?
That's the second one, John Wick. The second one.
He did it when he was in the museum in there. He did a quick where he slides the weapon forward. It's an automatic pistol. Slides it forward and then releases it with a single hand grip. It's beautiful stuff, man. And yeah. I'm not friends with that army guy anymore because he pissed me off and I yelled at him, and you know the story.
It's great when you see someone actually that takes the time to learn how to do things correctly. And between Taylor and Keanu and Chris Pratt, I mean, there is a list.
Yeah, they clearly went through their training. And for your video, I'm going to play this little beauty because it's military themed.
Hey, here's your free cup of coffee from a lady in Rhode Island. What?
I don't know why. And almost every vet I know fucking finds that funny.
There is one other project that has now joined the rotation of my annual 4th of July viewing now. and it's.
Oh wait, did you see these? By the way, I can bring them back up for you. The headlines. Were you here for that when I showed that? All the different I hate Chris Pratt anti-headlines just on a basic search. Yeah, look at this shit. Hold on. Because I don't think you saw that. I need to go back and show you that. Do it. Just type in the terminal list and this pops up. Top stories. And I want you to look at this shit. I'm going to zoom in. Can you see these? Making terrible choices. Prime Video's The Terminal List is an alpha male cry for help. The Terminal List review, but why though? Chris Pratt's The Terminal List is an unhinged right-wing revenge fantasy.
Wow.
This is what I'm talking about. You cannot trust critics anymore at all. Not that I was a big fan of them to begin with. I always wanted to be one. And then I saw what was happening, and I'm like, you guys are assholes. There are only a handful of critics that are worth the shit. And I can't think of his name right now. Wears glasses, written a lot of books. He's fucking good. He's an actual lover of film, not specific politically slanted films.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's move on to the next. I can't remember if Everwood was teenage drama. I never watched it. That's a Keith thing. I don't know. I have no idea.
Everwood was about a family who moves to Colorado after the death of the mom, after his wife. It's about a doctor, and it's his relationship with his son, and about the two of them making a brand new life in this place called Everwood, which is, I think, in northern Colorado. It's a beautiful looking series and a beautiful. It's a nice looking place that they chose, and I think it was just aimed at. It was a family show, but I think it had more of a leaning sometimes with the kids and sometimes with the adults. You know, it was meant to be both. But look,
nope, it doesn't work that way because I'm not logged in to Microsoft. Whatever their browser is, and I'm still getting the same ones.
I highly recommend the Netflix America the Motion Picture. For a lot of you sensitive types, that entire movie and its cast. So if you're having problems watching The Terminal List or anything else, check out America the Motion Picture. But I'm kind of surprised Netflix went with that. But I'm awfully glad I discovered that movie and have added it to my now yearly viewing for the 4th of July. So America the Motion Picture. That's my statement.
The only
on the day.
difference when I'm going to let you tell you right now, Tickle Trunk. The only thing different was a previous article I'd already read. The headline too, not the article. I don't click on those articles. I don't read those magazines. I don't read any of them. I don't read RogerEbert.com. One, he's dead. I don't give two shits for whoever got hired to replace him using his name. You know, so I don't know how tailored they can be. And everything, it's like if they're tailored for me, why does it hate Chris Pratt? Because I don't. That's not tailored for me. And I went over to Microsoft Edge. That's what it's called. Looked it up there, and they had two of the same articles and two other articles that I saw yesterday when I looked it up. And I'm not logged into Google over on Microsoft Edge. So they're posting anti-Chris Pratt's show reviews. So that's what I'm getting. Yeah, I've never fucking read the Daily Beast. You wouldn't catch me reading that fucking magazine. I don't give a shit. I'll see somebody's link to it, and I'll look it up from another magazine, the story, because I don't fucking want them getting my numbers or information. Yeah, in fact, you know, with Heat, I'll tell you, it's the only Michael Mann project that he ever wanted to shoot more than once. because he was happy with with everything else, but he wasn't happy with Heat, and so he shot it a second time the way he wanted to shoot it. And the second version is amazing.
That is a guy movie. That's how I sold it to a dude that I worked with. Heat is it just oozes testosterone. You know, if you can't take it, don't watch it. Trust me, that is a guy film, and it's still that whole shootout. Wow, you know, that whole shootout between the cops and the robbers were just amazing.
Yeah, he just brought up James Caan, and that's of course from the movie Thief, which is a favorite of mine. It was the first movie to have synths used for the soundtrack.
Tangerine Dream, I think.
Yeah, it was Tangerine Dream, and it was their first movie. They had done other stuff for TV, I think, but that was their first movie. And Michael Mann was the guy that brought him forth. And go back and read Roger Ebert's fucking review of that movie, and it just tells you how full of shit he is, because that's a great fucking movie. He referred to plotting, plot, and referred to the muddy soundtrack that was intrusive.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that, man. He gave that movie such a bad review, and it's a great fucking movie.
One of the members of Tangerine Dream became the composer of all the music for Babylon 5.
Yes, they did. Street Hawk. Wasn't Henry Rollins in Heat? Not that I remember.
No, not that I remember.
He was young. He was like a kid then.
Yeah.
He would have been a kid when that came out.
I
think Henry's the same age as us.
Yeah. I think Henry, look, I like Tangerine Dream. I did not like the music they had for Legend. That was a mistake to replace the original score they had for that Tom Cruise film with Tangerine Dream. It makes no sense, you know. Jerry Goldsmith's original score is beautiful. And if you ever have an opportunity to be able to watch Legend with Jerry Goldsmith's original music for it, that's a treat, you know.
Yeah, I double checked. He's not listed for that. So Henry Rollins was not. If he would have been in it, he would have been a kid. But let's move on to the other stuff, because I want to wrap this show up at least an hour, between an hour and an half, because this is 4th of July, guys. Everybody should go have a good day. I wanted to talk about Minions kicking the shit out of before we even get into that, I wanted to talk about this. Share, because I didn't get to talk about it over the weekend, and I wanted to. Is Joe Turkel died.
Yeah.
Some people call it Turkel, but when he said it to me, it was Turkel. And
we were just talking about him the other day.
Yeah, and it's so weird because we were talking about him, and I brought up the story that Gerry and I were the ones who scooped that he was still alive back in the 90s, because Internet Movie Database is still a fledgling site. They had him listed in 97 as being deceased. And I'm like, I don't think he is. You know, I mean, that's so close to his last film, you know, because he did that Moon Trap or whatever that movie was, Dark Side of the Moon, whatever that film was, that sci-fi horror film. And that was like the last thing he did. And I'm like, that was in the 90s. I'm like, I don't think that he's dead. I'm going to bet he's still alive. So Gerry and I, it's embarrassing. I'm going to tell you how we ended up doing this. Is we did all this searching, and we ended up just finding out who his talent agent was, which was a search by itself, finding that out. And we had to pull some favors from several people to find that out. And we finally found out who that was. And then he and I both started calling him. And we finally got a call back and got us his number. First, they contacted him. And then they got back with us and gave us his contact information when we called him. And that's where, because I did an interview and it's no longer available. Don't know where it is. Gerry and I, you heard us talk about it on the show, you know, when he was like, when he transferred the servers, a bunch of things got lost. He's got that Indiana kind of accent, and it got lost. And I asked Rick, the only thing that's showing up right now is the front page of Blade Zone. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, and he goes and he shows him, and Rick didn't know what to do. Everything was gone. It was gone. The entire website. And Gerry had to go back to the Wayback Machine. And what the website now is all that was found through the Wayback Machine. Articles and interviews, there are several of them missing. Some of the stuff I wrote is missing. Some of my artwork is missing. In fact, I did a Blade Runner comic sample for something I wanted to do, and I tried to pitch several times. And that's missing. It's all gone. And Moontrap with Walter Koenig. That was it. Or Koenig. And, but anyway, so we find him. And the first time I talked to him to do the interview with him, I asked him, what do you prefer being called? Joe, Joseph, Mr. Turkel? And he says, I prefer to be called Mr. Turkel. I said, okay, Joe. And I continued calling him Joe the entire interview. I don't know why. It's like I was so nervous, I think. You know, I just wasn't paying attention. I fucking he did the opposite of what he asked. But he was a real nice guy. Really nice guy. Very subtle. You know, very soft-spoken. Knew a lot of stuff. He was one of the handful of actors who had done multiple films with Stanley Kubrick. His first movie with Kubrick was The Killing, back in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
He's also in another favorite film of mine. He was in The Sand Pebbles with Steve McQueen. He was one of the characters. Gavin MacLeod was in it. Really great cast. And he played one of the sailors with Steve McQueen. Really good fucking actor, man. And here's an interesting tidbit of information a lot of people don't know. And he tried to deny this, but it's a fact. Katie Habert confirmed it for us a long time ago, that he had trouble reading and memorizing lines. And it was a short-term memory problem that Joe Turkel had. And so when you see him delivering his lines, you'll notice that he's making eye contact with something specific. And then when he shifts, his eye shifts to another spot. Those were basically cue cards for him.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like Brando used to do.
Well, Brando did it for a different reason. Because he liked the rawness of the line delivery.
Yes.
When it was fresh. When he was saying it, it came out more naturally. But with Joe Turkel, it's because he had a short-term memory issue. And I don't know how he got fucking work. But he did, man. But he's a good actor. And maybe that's why. What was that? Because I know who High Pike is. Did I miss something in the chat? Yeah. Bruce Campbell, yeah. But I was trying to lead. What led to the High Pike comment, Alf Jeebus? And you're only doing Alf today because Mexican Iron Man's in here, and you know how he feels about Alf. It makes you a dick. Brightest Day is here. I'm not catching it. No help. Any help with the High Pike thing?
Nope.
Okay. All right. I don't know why High Pike got brought up. Anyway. Oh, yeah. But let's go to Minions. Let's start. Remove that one.
That's the one. Because Joe talked in Southern accent.
I didn't say that. I don't recall saying that. I don't know where he ever did that. Joe Turkel. I said he spoke softly. Maybe that came out like sounding Southern. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. So let's get to this one. Share screen. From tab. Let's go. Minions, Rise of Gru, Box Office Mojo. Is that the one? No, that's the one. Here we go. Here we go. Now look at this shit. So, Minions: The Rise of Gru opens with Bafo 108 million weekend, poised to shatter 4th of July record. They got a 4-day weekend. So, those little yellow guys racked up some serious points with the new Despicable Me sequel or prequel. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was fun. And this is once again a movie made for audiences, unlike Lightyear. Who did they make it for? Not the audience, not the fans of Toy Story.
Yeah, not even the people who originally are responsible for Toy Story.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. So let's take a look at these numbers. Let's go look at Lightyear first. Open this shit up. This is, and I want you to look, this is almost 20 days ago. June 15th is 18 days ago. Has only brought in worldwide 187 million. Well, 0.5.
Now compare that number to what the last Toy Story film brought in. And
No,
it's embarrassing.
I'm going to show what Minions did.
Yeah, no, that's the story. But also, when you compare that overall to what the last Toy Story film did, it's embarrassing.
Oh, it is embarrassing for them, and it looks really bad. Here we go. Let's open this up. They're way over. 18 fucking days, they only got 187.5. Look at this. They're already past it, and they're not even into their 4th day of the holiday weekend. They kicked its fucking ass.
And it wasn't really that difficult. I mean, you are
just make a film that somebody wants to watch.
Well, they're almost incapable of it, because a lot of the people who have been responsible for making some of the best stuff that Pixar ever had are basically no longer there. That's the other big news. This is not the same Pixar. This is like Pixar Generation 3 now. A majority of the people that you've always could bet and were a part of a lot of the biggest successes they have, who were guaranteed to entertain you for the money that you were spending, are no longer there. That means something. It's unfortunate that Pixar has regressed so much. What they're producing now is hit or miss. And for a company that was pretty much, there was a time when everything Pixar released turned to gold. The people that were directly responsible for that are no longer there. They've been forced out.
Yeah.
And they're working for other companies.
And that's the problem, because they were talking to Tim Allen. I don't know if you guys watch Josiah's videos. I've been watching him for a while. And he actually, because once you get past his rambling openings, once he gets into the articles that he's reading, does really good videos. And he was talking about, Tim Allen slams the film. Oh, hey, Mad Mardigan is here. What's up, Mad? I will not be ignored. I just got here. Have you already talked about the terminal list? Some of the best. Yeah. Absolutely, Mad. And thanks for the $5. I didn't know you were in the room, dude. I really didn't. It's a great fucking show, dude. Yeah, I already talked about it, but I got to tell you, I don't mind talking about it again. Some of the best CQB I've seen. I know you went through MOUT training, it's like I was with an infantry unit, and we learned it too. We're proficient at it. Classic fucking infantry. But the higher level stuff, like he's a tier 1 operator, so his skills had to look as good as a tier 1. And of course, you got the guy that wrote the books, who's an tier 1 operator, retired, but he oversaw the production, and he had his advisors in there to make sure that he was trained correctly to do everything the right way. I mean, it's not a documentary. It's still fucking Hollywood, but he does stuff spot on. And he does that thing. And I got into a fight with one of my other Army buddies because I learned as a kid how to do a one-hand check to make sure that a weapon is loaded, a automatic pistol. And you flip it and you slide forward, look in, and then you pop it back and you one-handed. And this guy was, he was with the 72nd Stryker Brigade. And he's arguing with me, and I'm like, dude, I was there too. We learned to do that. But I'm glad you fucking loved it, man. I really do, because I'd love to sit down and do a show with you where we just talk about that shit, dude, because what a great fucking show. And one of the best shows about PTSD I've ever seen. And it's just fucking beautiful. And for you, Matt, I'm going to play this video again. Just for you. See if you enjoy it.
Hey, here's your free cup of coffee from a lady in Rhode Island. What?
That program is just so fucking funny. And when they did the animation, I was just like, holy shit, Seth went there. Oh my God. But thanks a lot again, Matt. And hey, if you want to jump on here before we go, man, feel free to, because I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. I'll send you the invite. But yeah, going back to Minions, I enjoyed the fucking movie. It was fun. Mm-hmm. It was silly. It was good family fun. Yes, I did. That shit was funny.
I guarantee you, many of the people that worked on that film at least have ties to the original films, and you don't have a radical change of creative people behind the scenes. I don't get it when stuff like that happens, and Pixar now is just this place where it's a toss-up what you're going to get.
I'm just going to send you the invite through the public chat, because there's only a handful of you fuckers out there. So there you go. It's 4th of July. I'm surprised anybody showed up, man. But as patriotic as I am, I like getting on here and talking to you guys. And by the way, if you've been watching our numbers growing as the 2 or 3 days pass, our viewings for some of our shows go up. It's the Blade Runner one, man. Wow. Went through the roof.
Yeah. We want to thank you guys for that, because look, a lot of you guys have become just regulars, and we're very thankful for that.
I fucking made a joke yesterday on Twitter, and fucking Shinatsky comes there and poo-poos all over the joke by taking it literally, and I'm like, oh my God, Shinatsky, you drive me nuts. He just laughed. He thought that was funny. I'm like, you're that guy that somebody tells a punchline to a joke and you take it literally and you explain why that doesn't work. And it's like, what? Jokes don't have to make sense.
Wow.
I do. I love you guys, man. I like doing a show. And you're, seriously, I told Keith, I said, the only reason I do that is to talk to you guys in the morning and go over this shit. But I got to tell you, Lightyear is a disaster. Again, they had a chance to have, and they were talking to Tim Allen. And then all of a sudden he said these other people that he'd never worked with before were making the movie. That had nothing to do with anything before. And he was out. And he did. He shit on the film a little bit, you know, lacking a story because it has no story. I think you'll enjoy it, Darius. The first hour is with Sean Young. We were going to have Joanna Cassidy, but then confusion happened between her and Gary Willoughby. And it was like, oh, this weekend. No, this is the opening of my play. And so she couldn't attend. But I want to get her on again. We're going to do another Blade Runner special, probably in a year. Every June 25th, I'll do a special until we don't have these folks anymore. And Katie Haber's still gorgeous. Oh, my God. She, like, I can't remember what director said it, but I think it was Sam Peckinpah that said the most gorgeous movie star that never was in the movie but worked on the film. She is just so gorgeous. And I had a huge crush on her as a kid.
She's stunning as what she is.
Hi, Penny.
Oh. Hey, Penny.
If you could tolerate that, God bless you. I won't watch that fucking movie. But I did watch Gru, The Rise of Gru. Fucking good film. I enjoyed the shit out of that. What's up, Matt?
What's going on, man?
So,
hey.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The one-handed chamber check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you slide it back just enough to see if there's a round in it.
Let's just see if a round's in there, and then you flip it back. And I got to go fire with the guy. I don't want to say his name because he'll get pissed if he finds out. Because he's already mad at me.
Was it
I don't
Mahler?
give a shit. No, but he wrote a book. We worked together on some stuff, and I own the right to the title of his book. And he used the title because I wrote a script about the battle he was in before I met him. And you know who Colby Bazell is. Colby introduced me to him. And because Colby and I are friends from way back to 2006. And Colby said, you need to talk to this guy because he was a specific thing that I was wanting in the script because I was writing the script of the battle for Mosul. And I wanted to talk about, the assault, how the 72nd Stryker Brigade was the only people that went out that day. Everybody else was in lockdown because of the car bombs going off.
Yeah.
So the 72nd was the only one that went out to engage. And they took back the Mosul police station and the mosque. And the problem is, once they handled it, the battle, and you know how this goes. Battle lasted 8 hours. That means there was probably 7.5 hours of sitting there and a half hour of actual combat.
I mean, that's generous. Given 30 minutes.
Yeah. And one of the most exciting things when I wrote the script and I met the guy that was the actual person that I wanted to focus on in the story, and I wanted to focus on a medic. The reason why is because the medic doesn't stay put during a battle. They're constantly checking on everybody. And I wanted that to be the center character for the story. And I got to meet the combat medic that served in that battle. And I wrote some stuff in here. I also made something he did a little more glorious than what he did. And then after I wrote the first draft of the script, I turned it over to Dale Dye, and Dale Dye wrote the what would have been the shooting script. We were supposed to shoot in northern Iraq with what are they called? The Christian area of northern Iraq.
What, the
Kurds.
Kurds, yeah. I almost said turds.
They were calling it Turds, and they called it Kurdistan. And they were going to fund our film. We had all the money. Everything was set up. We were going to go shoot the film. I was just one of the co-creators, writers on it. And I was, of course, going to do the storyboards. Dale was going to, he wrote the script, amazing script. And basically what we did is we took a bunch of events from Mosul and he put them all into, just like they did with Platoon.
Right.
A bunch of actual events that took place and put them all into one story, which we also included an issue or situation that took place weeks later after the battle on June 24th. And, or June 4th. I'm sorry, June 4th. And so it ended up being an even better script. When I read his script, I was like, holy shit. I thought mine was a good script. His just really fucking nailed it. Dale knows how to write. And, but in the end, it's like everything happened in Iraq. You remember what happened. And all of a sudden, the movie didn't happen. All that money went away, and our company went under. And you'll like the name of the company. Because I'm still co-owners with this, with Dale Dye, New York Times bestselling author John Del Vecchio, who wrote the book 13th Valley, which was the Bible for Oliver Stone and Dale Dye when they made Platoon. And we were all business partners. And it was called Charlie Foxtrot Entertainment. Only veterans get that. And they said, what inspired you to name it that way? I said, it was something I said on the radio. And it was a Han Solo moment. I had just set up a one-man antenna, which one man cannot do. And like you do it by yourself, you risk getting killed.
A one-man antenna.
Yeah, they've got the tension cables. And if you don't do those tension cables just right, one will pop loose and cut you in half. So it was two of us that put that antenna up. And I did a quick test, and I actually caught, like, I think it was Fort Ord. They were like, they pulled the classic, like, who is this?
Yeah,
I said, you don't know who this is? Charlie Foxtrot out.
I wasn't born for the Korean War, so like the technology is advanced since then. So I've never had to.
Oh, fuck you!
I never had to throw up an antenna.
Well, 12 years probably before you served, but yeah, because this was back in the 90s. I mean, my unit was the first unit to get fucking what do you call it? Humvees, ambulance. We had the ones that with that tight ass cab. It was airtight. It had its own filtration system. It was amazing. I loved my rig, man. I love PMCSing that. It was like, whew, what a great thing. But you served in a real army when it changed. Combat medics were no longer 91 Alpha, 91 Bravo.
68
whiskey. Because that took place 4 years after I exited. And I wanted to go back in, but I had custody of my daughter, sole custody. And they told me that I would have to put somebody in charge of her. And I'm like, I can't do that because I'm it. And the only people that are available are people I don't want to leave my kid with. That's the other side of the family. So I didn't get to go into Iraq or Afghanistan.
You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much, man. And I don't think you could have, because so your 68 whiskeys, like they went woke before anybody went. Like they would do what the woke said before we even knew what it was, bro. They had the
really.
Oh man, they had the stress cards like way back in my day.
Oh fuck stress cards, yeah, fuck that shit.
They have Fort Sam like a college campus now. No drill sergeants, nobody can yell at them.
That is one of the most pussified things I ever heard. I remember that happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because I was with my reserve unit, and my sergeant and I were like going, because we're still friends with all the guys I served with, except for Julio, are in my life. And Tom, he was my senior sergeant. He was like, "Did you hear this shit?" And he showed me stress cards for basic training. I mean, next thing you know, they're going to let men and women train together.
That's fine. Well, I mean, if it wasn't in combat arms, that's fine.
It was bad enough during AIT because every female that was in my platoon, I fucked.
Every single one?
Yeah, even the lesbian. Seriously.
Yeah, there was 3.
And no, I was in combat training, medic training at Fort Sam. We had about 30% females.
Yeah, that's true. It's like the Air Force of the Army.
I told this one guy, he's like, "You think I'll get laid?" I said, "Look, man, if you can't get laid here, you're either gay or retarded." you can't throw a rock without hitting a girl. And please don't throw a rock. There are a lot of females down there, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, and clearly they make poor life choices. So you have you know what I mean? Like they joined the army. So
yeah, 2 of the females that I banged, I found out that they'd also banged their drill instructors at Fort Dixieland up there in New Jersey. And I'm like, what? Like, why the fuck would you do that? Oh, now I know why you're fucking me. Okay, because I was a squad leader, you know, and I was like, all right, okay. You like power, like guys in charge. Okay, and you know, there are a lot of people attracted to that shit. But dude, yeah, let's talk about the Terminal List.
Terminal List, man. Yeah,
you watched the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I finished it last night.
What did you think of the mount shit, man?
Oh, dude, all the movement, all the I mean, because everything was
right angle turns,
smooth. So beautiful. When him in that last episode, him going up the stairs and the way like he's switching shoulders and just his movement.
Oh, I couldn't believe that. I'm like going, oh my god, they taught him to do that.
Yeah, there's so much detail to it. The only thing that caught my eye, there probably more if I went back and looked, but the only thing that caught my eye was with the helicopter pilot. I don't know her name. The one that flies the plane all the time. Yeah. When they do the flashback for her, like when she ran out of rounds in her M4, like the bolt didn't lock to the rear. I was like, oh, that. And then I had to pause it and explain exactly where the bolt is to the girlfriend because she was watching it with me and she doesn't know why I'm freaking out. But I was like, it's a chick. Of course it didn't lock.
Yeah, I'm going to bet money that you also are one of the people like me that gets annoyed when you see the slide lock and then you hear it click and you're like, automatic guns don't do that.
Dude. What if I see your dust cover up and you're shooting? Like I had problem because that just tells me you're using shit CGI for your muzzle flash. Like The Walking Dead started doing that.
Yeah, towards the end. Yep.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I know that they've come up with some interesting model guns that actually have the eject action on them, and that's kind of nifty. But the thing is, though, I can spot CG flash 90% of the time. And, you know, because you and I both know that in movies, when they fire their weapons, they have a larger charge in them. Because the ammo that you and I use, the flash probably wouldn't even be picked up by a camera. Because it's so quick and it's so small. And especially with pistols. So they add a little extra powder to it so it gets a little more flash on it. And especially shooting on film. Because as, you know, many times as the camera is open, the lens, it's also equally closed. So it can actually miss something in that action.
Oh,
and
I just thought of something that really, the only, fuck you show moment I had was the FBI agent, the Hispanic chick that somehow went from having a sling to a wrist brace. Like, well, she wants to be part of the action, and we need diversity, so we'll just get rid of the sling and give her a wrist. You know, it's been a day.
What was the nickname he gave her?
This Army, because this chick, she comes up and she's like, so I heard you're a Navy SEAL or whatever. I was in the Army because even SEALs need heroes. I was like, fuck off. Shut up. No.
Look, man, you and I are in the Army. That's a dumb thing to say.
You don't so dumb.
That. You don't say that to a tier 1 operator.
No, and actually thinking about it now, of course, a female Army veteran would say it. I mean, they're the only ones that would. Oh, like, it's good Lord, dude. That hurt me.
It's virtue signaling. And it's just fucking stupid.
Well, they wanted her to be, you know what's crazy is I guess they wanted her to come off as being equal, like on the same level as everybody else, because the two guys she's, with, like either Chris Pratt or the FBI guy, those dudes look legit. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were really good. And what's crazy is the other chick, the black chick, I liked her so much more than her because she just had a couple of moments. Like I knew it was the Eagle Scouts. And I guess a couple other things. I'm like, I like her. That was well done. Like, you know what I mean? Like talking about like making a meal out of just a little, like a couple of lines. Like I'm like, cool. I get her. You know what I mean?
It's when she owned the character. And that was good. And it's the one thing I do commend the show with is I would say about 98% of the performances and they were really good. And she was the one I had problems with. I had a little problem with even the agent, the FBI agent too. He the main one, he kind of annoyed me a couple of times. But in reality, though, I've gone to ranges and I've had cops and FBI at the ranges, and they're really shit shots. A lot of them really are, unless
they don't have enough time. They don't get enough time at the range.
No, they don't.
And if they don't put it in like in their free time or whatever, they're just not going to be any good.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I've said, because I have a lot of cop friends, a lot of them. And the only ones I don't give shit are the guys that were our former military. Like one of my buddies was a Ranger. In fact, he's the guy who inspired me to go into the military. He's the one who gave me the idea. And Kerry is now a state trooper in Virginia. And he's a badass motherfucker. And he'll outshoot me on the range. I'm a good shot, and that fucker has outshot me on the range. But I got to tell you, even he knows what I'm talking about, that these guys don't get trained enough, and they start talking like they want to, be part of the military. These are guys who weren't ever in the military. They want the police force to be militarized. And I'm like, no, you're almost a private force. Even though you're paid through the state, you have a union. You can quit. You're not like the military. You don't train like us.
Kind of like
fucking cleaning. We were training. What's that?
Kind of like Jai Courtney in this one, right? Isn't that his name? Boomerang.
Yeah, Jai Courtney.
Yeah, I like him, dude. I like him I liked him in Spartacus. I liked him as Boomerang. That's the only thing I really know him from. But yeah, because he was, he almost fetishized Sills to the point to where like he's even getting the tattoos. I know that he needed to be called out, but her calling him out, I'm like, whoa, you had to give the line to someone. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when that dude goes, I forgot what he told him, but he's like, hey, a fanboy, it's time to nut up. I'm like, wow, like nice, like he's calling him out because like, oh man, I thought everybody did really well, except for that one that she was really my only problem. I loved Taylor Kicks. I've always been a big fan of his.
Yeah,
even his Gambit. It's the only Gambit we have.
He's the only Gambit.
Okay.
But I really like him though. I thought he was great in Savages. That's such an underrated movie. Oliver Stone directed it, and it's very Oliver Stone like. But it's him and Kick-Ass. I really like Taylor Kicks. Yeah,
Taylor Kicks. Yeah.
And hey guys, John Carter from Mars, not a bad movie actually.
Great fucking film.
It's a great movie.
And Keith and I have talked about this ad nauseum, that it was the Star Wars deal on the horizon that screwed John Carter, because all the money that was supposed to go into marketing it went into planning to buy Star Wars, Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Bob Iger sabotaged that movie so that George Lucas wouldn't feel that they would have something that would compete with Star Wars and take away some of its luster. Yep. So they went ahead and just basically kind of backpedaled a little bit and shortchanged that film.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to spoil the movie at all because I do think people should watch it.
Yes.
But I do not care. I hated the ending. What they did with Chris Pratt's character, right? Hated it.
Because at the end of the series?
The series, yeah. Hated it.
Well, it's the book. Basically, they left it ambiguous just in case if it doesn't get another season. Yeah. But if you know the books, you know where it's going.
Well, I don't. I don't read. I won't even watch foreign films if I have to read subtitles. But I'm kidding. Except for The Raid, that's my exception.
I read foreign films.
Dude, I tried to watch The Raid. I was like, oh, The Raid's on HBO Max, but it was only the dub. Oh my god, I was like, oh, I can't even like make it to the action part. It's so bad.
Yeah, but and I'm the same way because I prefer watching the original language version of Tony Jaa films.
Yeah, dude.
Donnie Yen.
I like Tony Jaa too.
Yeah,
I like
because
the
what
Raid
he
guys
does
better.
is his movies are basically like Buddhist tomes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, man, I love the way he does this.
Ong Bak
But
Warrior. That's it, right?
yeah, Ong Bak. And but he does something too. And I've talked about this with Polly and other people that Donnie Yen and Tony Jai both actually hit people.
Dude,
and they pay the stuntman extra money if they get knocked out.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, have you not seen The Raid?
Oh, I love that movie, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, because like that is some of the best.
I've only seen parts of The Raid 2, but I love the first film.
The Raid 2 is bananas. There's also They Come For Us at Night or whatever on Netflix that they're in as well, all those guys. And it's
Same
brutal.
crew? Oh.
Yeah. Except not Gareth Evans doesn't direct it though. Or whatever his
Gareth
name
I
is.
like, man. There's something about him.
I'm worried about the American remake.
I'm not going to watch it. The original film, to me, is still an American film because it's an American director.
Dude, did you watch Merantau?
What?
Merantau. It's the first collaboration with Iko Wise and Garrett. It's
no, I haven't.
Type the name in the chat because your Indiana accent's fucking me up.
That's an Indiana accent?
Yeah, he's from
I saw the middle. They did not sound like that.
Indiana. Yeah. I fuck with Martin about his accent and say that all the time. Because he really has a beautiful accent, but he'll roll over letters. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck word you just said.
Mean, are you saying the Ray Durandal?
No. In the private chat, it's Merantau.
Merantau.
I do not know this one. Hold on, let me go look this up. Paste and go.
Let's see.
Okay, I'm going to check this movie out. I know the actor. Yeah, I like him.
It's the main dude, right, from the Raid?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like him too. You know, he was in was it Fast and the Furious he was in? No. He was in Uber.
Episode 7.
Okay, yeah, he was in that too. He was also in Uber with Batista and Camille Anjaman.
Oh, I forgot he was in that. He was the only good part of that film.
Oh, it's available.
He was on Man of Tai Chi, and it was
he was.
bummer because he didn't fight.
Oh, he didn't fight at all? I thought he did. Oh, no, because the dude wouldn't fight him. That's right. That's a Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah, it's more of a spiritual film of martial arts rather than a martial arts film. It's like Red Belt, because I love that movie.
I love Red Belt. Not enough to learn how to say his name, but I like him as an
fuck
actor.
That guy's name, I'll never be able to say it. But he's so fucking good in anything he's in.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, Tim Allen is good in that. He was also one of the producers on that film. And, I love that movie.
I love that actor. I thought he was great in Four Feathers, too. Not Four Feathers. Four Brothers.
No, Four Brothers, the remake of The Sons of Katie Elder.
Is that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I get it now. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go back and watch
I see it now.
Go watch it, and it's like, holy shit, it is.
Yeah. I loved Maki Mock in Four Brothers because it felt like he was just having fun and just fucking with people.
Yeah.
He called that dude, the F word so many times. Like, his brother. No, the other one. I'll say fuck. I won't say the other one on YouTube. Mama Susan be coming after us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I accidentally say that because when I play video games, I'm 18 years old again. And it's one of the first things out of my mouth when I feel like somebody cheated. And you fucking, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm live.
That's your default.
And then Steve goes, Fat Steven's like, yeah, don't worry about it. They didn't hear you. Your game is so loud. Because I don't know how to control the volume, so
that is a benefit of shit audio. Like you can get away with saying more things, yeah.
And but yeah, it's like I kind of stopped. Mexican Iron Man talked me out of doing live streaming anymore with the games, even though I love gaming. I play just straight up first-person shooter games. It's all I'm interested in.
Yeah,
you know, and because I found a lot of the clans I was in were all former military guys, and we would use actual CQB when we do stuff in the game, and we're kicking the shit out of these kids. And it was like, yeah, we're just using what we know. Like in America's Army, you remember back in 05?
America's Army.
U.S. Army worked with Tom Clancy's company,
Okay.
and they produced that game.
Wait,
man.
Full Spectrum Warrior, wasn't that it? The one that the Army made as they were going to use it for like a training thing, and then
it became America's Army. Rise of a Soldier, I think, was the subtitle.
oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking of a different one.
Yeah, and the follow-up games, because we're engaged in a war, weren't as good because the U.S. Army wasn't putting its fucking best foot forward in those games. But that first one was fucking spot on with a lot of the shit. And but eventually, Xboxes grew, and that game kind of died off. And so we started going into Call of Duty and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And I only wanted to play the games that had weapons that I knew something about and how to use. And so I always stuck with Call of Duty Modern Warfare games. And I like the new ones. I got to be honest, they're rebooting it.
I hate first-person shooters. I just the camera, like it feels like the camera is in your mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
it
how
takes
you're
some getting used to.
I hate it. Like you can't see your feet. It's unnatural. Like I love Ghost Recon. Oh boy, this last one I still can't get back. The multiplayer is nothing like what it was when we're with Future Soldier. This is gonna sound braggadocious, but I was one of the best players on the Xbox on Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I had over a 4.0 KDR. Like legit, I'd go 50-0 with a MSR sniper, no problem. But for games like that, at most I will talk people into doing bounding Overwatch, right? Something simple that we can utilize in the game without having a lot of terms fly at them and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just simple things like that. But
well, because Battlefield was like that. My problem with Battlefield is I felt like some of the action was sluggish, whereas in Call of Duty it's sharper, faster. But one of the things I disliked in Battlefield was you carrying a 50 cal Barrett, and you have to kill a guy with 2 shots.
I mean, I have a problem with you just being able to stand and use a Barrett, but
yeah, guys running around with a fucking Barrett, But
no scoping fools.
I couldn't stand that in the game. So, but Call of Duty was a little more accurate, and as it got better, one of the things because I had a 7.1 surround sound headset way back, and I could hear them when they were above me or below me in a building.
Yeah,
I could hear exactly where they were, and they thought I was cheating. I got complained against a lot because I was like at one point in 2013 I was good enough to be pro, and but I'm like I'm in my 40s. I'm not gonna fucking go pro. That's weird. But I had friends who helped me become a better player who did go pro. And but I got so angry because you could hear them above you, but in Call of Duty you can't shoot through a floor early on. You can hear him right above you. Right. I was tracking him by sound, knew exactly where he was. And I fired at the floor and nothing would happen. I could shoot through a wall with armor piercing, but I couldn't shoot through a floor. Finally, they fixed that. So, but it's fun. But a lot of my friends that like, combat guys don't like playing first-person shooters because it stresses them out. Whereas I didn't do that. I mean, yeah, I did CQB, but I was never in actual combat. The only firefight I ever got in was friendly fire.
So, I had just got out of the hospital, right? And the first thing I did, I had my stepmom. I could barely walk. I had my stepmom drive me to GameStop to buy the Xbox 360. First thing I did out of the hospital. I couldn't even lay in a bed because my sides were burnt so bad. I had to actually sleep in a recliner because I couldn't lay down straight because of the burns. But anyway, first thing I did was get a 360. And my aunt and uncle and my cousin Jeff, they came up to see me. And they were like, hey, let's get him a game for the 360. That would be really nice. So the guy was like, oh, you should get him. Oh, he in the military. You should get him Ghost Recon Advanced Warrior 2 or whatever it was, right? So I put it in, and I'm going through the training part of the game. And it's like, all right, climb up on this building. Shoot that Bradley with a AT-4. I'm like, I was in a Bradley. So I shoot it, and the Bradley's just there on fire. And I just looked at my dad. I was like, can you put Tiger Woods back in? Like I was not ready to play a game where I blow up the vehicle I was just blowing up. I didn't play it for like, man, I didn't play for like probably 8-9 months later. But yeah, that was the only time like a game really got. I don't like scary games. I don't know. I have headphones on, man. Stuff gets scary. Yeah.
I way back with PlayStation 1, I was playing what is that? The game with the mutant shit in the house. That's
Resident Evil?
Resident Evil. I was playing one of the first games. And it was the one that they did a redo on it, so it was better animation and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm playing that, and I swear to God, when that dog came through a fucking window, my controller went flying across the room.
Right?
I fucking threw it out of my hand. Like, fuck. It scared the shit out of me.
As a kid, my stepmom worked nights. She was a nurse, and she got home like 3 a.m, something like that or whatever, and she bought me Resident Evil 2, and I immediately played it, and I immediately regretted it because I was not at an age to where I could play Resident Evil 2 by myself alone. You know what I mean? In my room at 4 a.m. with the lights off. I was not ready for that.
And somebody just asked a question. What is this? I did that. I did live stream. If you go back through some of our older videos from last year, you'll find some of my game streams where I played Blade Runner as well as Call of Duty. And but hold on a second. I wanted to find something here. Switch account.
We've been playing Ash versus Evil Dead over on Yeti's channel.
Oh, I want to play it so
Dude,
bad.
It's a lot of fun, bro. Like it took me a long time to get to go because you have to go through the tutorial first, but it was so scary for me. My head, I kept stopping. I would get like halfway. I'm like, no, I'm done. And I had to come back. I'm like, all right, get a little further. Now I'm fine with the game. It doesn't bother me. But like, I was never a big fan of Evil Dead. I loved Army of Darkness as a kid, but not now. I've watched all 4 seasons of Ash versus Evil Dead. Like, I love that show. But
oh man, I get mad at fans that started doing the campaign to save the show. And I said, you want to know how to save the show? You fucking watch it when it was on Stars. But the big Bruce Campbell fans, they weren't piling in like they thought they were. They expected the big Evil Dead Bruce Campbell fans to pile in, but with the show behind a paywall, they didn't want to do it. So the show got canceled. And that show would have kept going if people would have shown up to watch it.
So I just finished it. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to see the next season because I didn't know it was canceled. So yeah, thanks for ruining my day.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry,
cool. Dude. They canceled Raised by Wolves, man.
I love the first season in particular. That second season was freaky, so I wasn't sure where they were going. And once I started kind of understanding what he was doing with the allegories and shit, like, okay, I'm digging this. I'm digging it.
The first season a little slow. Like it really builds. Like it does the exact opposite of what you see now, where no one builds the world. No one does any world building. They just rush you into like, okay, here's this guy and this guy and this guy. We'll finish all the exposition as we walk to the next set piece, right? But with Raised by Wolves, like it really took its time. Then you get to season 2, and they're just like, we're just gonna go cuckoo bananas. And I'm like, yes, it is great. And they earned it because they spent so much time establishing this world.
Building this world and building the character relationship, and the dynamics.
And I love that Aussie. I forget his name all the time.
Which one?
The Aussie dude from he played Ragnar Lapa.
Oh,
Vikings.
The Viking dude. Yes.
Tannel.
His accent is so weird. I can't figure out. He's from Australia?
Yeah. He's from Australia. Dude, he's cool as shit, man. His mannerisms are he's so great.
Oh, man. He made that show for me. Really.
Oh, and Vikings sucked. When they killed him off, it just went downhill. The whole series without him.
I don't doubt it because he's really a good actor. Here you go.
He seems like a cool dude too, man. Like he showed up on the Today Show, had different shoes on, and they're like, "Why do you have 2 different shoes?" He's like, "Yeah, I couldn't find one of them." That's my accent.
Here you go. This is me on Black Ops 2 back in the day, and I take out the entire team plus 1, and you'll be amused. There was no time for a reload,
Yeah.
so I actually risked the chance of not having but one round left.
Keith has to go.
Oh, hey Keith, I'll see you later, buddy.
See you later, Keith.
Have a good one, guys.
Later, man.
Bye, Keith.
Thanks for dropping by. Happy 4th, man.
Happy 4th to all of you guys. Okay, have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Travis Fimmel. I guess thought of it myself. I didn't look at the chat.
All right, here you go. Because somebody wanted to see me streaming or gaming. Here's one video of it. I knew where everybody was because of my headset. I heard him, and I heard this guy, and I could hear the other guy running towards me before I reload, and that's the +1.
Nice.
And after the game, they were like claiming I cheated. And I'm like, no, dude, I've got a Turtle Beach 7.1 surround sound.
Bro.
I can hear your nuts scrape against your leg in this game.
They always accuse people, bro. You know, I got so much hate one time. Well, plus I was an asshole. Like,
yeah, I am too, so I get it.
Well, I'm good now. Like, since being on YouTube, I've really made sure like not to let like that really come out. But man, on the 360, dude, you're talking about people that are sending you messages by like controller, and I got one. It was 5 separate messages because he ran out of characters, and just like just going on with every complaint. And I think he was projecting a lot of his real life things onto me, but he's just so angry with all of it. And I just replied with K, just the letter K.
Yes.
And
you're not even worth more than one letter.
That one somebody could send me. I hope your mother dies. That's it.
I throw people off. Like if they do text message in a game, I just write back, thanks.
Yeah.
Just, you're a fucking asshole. I fucking hate you, camper.
Okay.
And I'm like, I said, look, man, I play. Sometimes I will grab a piece of land in a game. I'm like, okay, come on, dig me out of here.
When I was always accused of camping, I'm like, bro, then you know where I am. That should make it easier for you.
Yeah.
I'm not sneaking up on you. You know where I'm at. Come get me.
You know where I'm at. Come get me. Exactly. Yeah, you get it. But I think one of the most fun things I ever did, I used to play with this group. I know a lot of you guys never heard of them, but they were a big clan back in the early 2000s called Blackwater Mercs and Barbecue, BBQ. And they were 2 of the biggest clans with America's Army. And I still kept playing these guys for years. I still play against some of them. And one of them is Barbecue Bob, the weirdest motherfucker I ever met on the planet. Refers to himself in the third person when he's talking. He's like, he'll be drunk half the time. He's shit. Boy killed Bob like Bob owed him money. Pushing on doors of St. Paul. He'd have these little fucking colloquial little sayings that he'd say, and I'm like, shut up, Bob. And we were in the same clan at one point, and he irritated me one night, and I jumped out of the clan practice and joined the other team. And I just fucking slaughtered him because he was talking shit, and it just fucking annoyed me. And he got so mad he rage quit and fucking left.
I would have. Sorry, I was going to say,
No,
I would have been better if I could claw. Could you claw your controller?
What's that?
It's where, normally, with the joysticks, and I'm mostly just controllers, but like you use your thumbs on the joysticks, right?
Yeah.
To claw, you would, I'm sorry, yeah. So your index finger is what you use to pull the triggers, right? To claw would be using your middle finger to pull the triggers, so that your index finger can press the face buttons.
Nope, never did that.
So that way, So that way you wouldn't have to let go of the joystick to press the buttons. What? No, dude, I got an Elite controller too. I just remap the buttons to the buttons on the back, on the levers on the back. I actually got a new controller.
One thing people really fucking hated with me, and I got a lot of complaints, is I drop shot people. They come running around a corner, and I would just drop.
Yeah.
And here, I'm going to show you this one. This one's called Oasis Kick Butt. Because once again, I took out the entire team. And the funny part is when the video starts. I just respawned in the back. We're playing what is it? Team deathmatch. Oh no, the when we collect the tags. What's that called?
Capture the flag?
Yeah, no, where you kill somebody and you get their tags.
Oh, I don't know.
Kill confirm. Kill confirm. That's what it's called. Kill confirm. And I would go into. I would just fucking rush their spawn and just start killing people. And I'd find buildings like we're in this Haji Palace.
You fucking spawn camper.
And this is one of them. This is one of my favorites. This is one's called Oasis, and I love playing this map because I got a lot of kills. My KDR was really high back in the day. But let me share the screen real quick. Share screen. Share. There it is. Share your audio. Good. Open this shit up. Now, I just got killed, and I'm respawning, and I knew that the guy was pissed at me that I killed. And that rocket you're hearing was supposed to kill me, and I stepped back. It won't kill you if you step back in the spawn. And that's what I do here. And then I go at him. So watch this shit. This is fast. And I do a lot of drop shots here. That was meant for me. I drop shot.
No, fuck you, dude. You laggy piece of shit. How the hell did you kill that second guy? Does he have an Australian connection? No, the second would.
Here you see it again, and you'll see what I did.
No, I saw you drop.
And I'm just tracking this guy. He's trying to shoot me. He did a halo jump on me and thought that he was going to get me doing the halo jump. And I use a technique that we learn in military. You track with your weapon. And it works in the game. It really works.
Well, yeah, if you follow them with your reticle, yeah, that's going to work.
Yeah,
like, that's how you
really worked in the game. Yeah. And he was trying to jump shot me, and I just dropped on him and just shot him in the crotch. And I'm notorious for that because there are several videos of me crotch shotting guys because they're trying to halo jump me, and I drop under them and shoot them. And I loved playing those guys that did halo jumps because they're so much fun to kill. But no, there was no lag in that game. It was what I loved about
there
that.
Was lag in every game.
I never really experienced it much until
because you were the one lagging.
You hosting. Oh, I never lagged. No, dude, I was sitting on a T1, dude. Seriously. Yeah, no. Never lagged. But I know guys that lag switch too. And when I get the hint that somebody's lag switching me, I leave the game. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. And I don't think it's a shitty connection. I think somebody was lagging me. And
I know a lot of people that were accused of lag switching, but I've never actually I played with this one dude. He was like above the Arctic Circle, and he lagged all over the place.
Oh, I knew a guy. I would play with him, and he would run and be standing still, and I'd run by him. I'm turn to look at him, and then he would be gone, and he'd be further ahead. It was just he would disappear and suddenly materialize, and it was fucking funny. And he would get kills, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. And he had that shit connection. What was it? His Montana internet. He was out on a ranch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
one of the things I always wanted, because a lot of my buddies that were serving in the war over in Iraq, they would game, but I never saw them on. I was always looking for them because they said that they were able to play, but I don't know how the internet worked in Iraq for the soldiers and their connects.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, I had a jailbroken, whatever it's called, Xbox that I bought there, Oh, dude, they sent that home after I got blown up, dude, and it stopped working or whatever. And I think my sister took it to a dude to get it fixed. When they opened it up, it was a giant freaking scorpion inside of it.
Fuck off!
This huge scorpion inside of the Xbox. Yeah.
When I went to Riyadh and we were out there in the field, holy shit, dude! Did you see camel spiders?
Oh yeah.
They freak me out, dude. They don't look right. And I have arachnophobia. And I was a squad leader, and I lost my shit in front of everybody during Claymore training. And because
sorry about the audio. I was in a different app, like window streaming.
Oh, it's okay. I can still hear you. But I went to jump behind a log pile, and there was a giant. Well, it looked like it was giant because it was right in my face, but it's still pretty big. Black Widow. And I threw the detonator, and I flew backwards and scrambled backwards, and apparently let out a little squeal when it happened. And all the guys in my
squad bro. Like I don't play with those things, man.
Yeah, they scared.
No,
so there was one. It was on my fucking buddy's chest. It was like, you know, he was asleep. And I looked over and the thing's fucking on him. And I actually considered locking and loading at one point. That's how my brain was working. I was like, I could do it. I could hit that thing off his chest. He'll get burned, but I can get it. Then I'm like, no,
wait,
you can't do that.
He'll get burned. What did you pick up? The flamethrower?
No, because I would have got up close to it and I would have muzzle flashed. So I ended up grabbing one of my fucking boots and I just smashed it into his chest, risking it biting him when I did it.
Well, he deserved it. He should have known better than to not know something was on him.
I know, right? It's like, and I told him, I said, you can thank me later. I saved your life. Because I don't know. We were told they're poisonous. I didn't know. I'm like, I'm a medic. I'm okay. I'll fix you up.
Look, man, if I don't know an animal personally, like as a pet, I don't go near it. Like anything, whether it's a spider or a dog. Like I don't know that dog. That dog don't know me. Why am I going to try to go pet it? That's white people. Like that's dumb white people. Like they just want to pet everything that they see. They're like,
oh, you mean like in Prometheus when the guy wants to pet the fucking alien snake?
Stop touching everything. I hate that in movies. Why do you don't have to touch it.
Right.
You don't have to touch everything.
It's like it's the rule of that Ridley originally started back in with Alien, that sometimes you can do the right thing and still die. But
yeah,
in other horror films, and he ended up doing it himself with Prometheus, people dying because they did something stupid.
He also added in the, if you don't go left or right, you're gonna die. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right, with the ship rolling. It's right? Like, why are you running in a straight line? It was almost as bad as that scene with the fat guy and Christine running down the alley. I'm like, why did he do that?
Oh, running up the stairs. Yeah,
because
like
it's stupid. It's the most stupidest movie ever.
I'm glad you dropped in, man. This is really nice.
Yeah, man.
I don't get to hang out with you, and I get happy. I get happy when they tell me you're going to be on with Toxic.
Dude, man, some of the movie choices, I'm like, oh man. Like that's usually like my down day, and the girlfriend, she's like, "Ooh, I love you. Let's spend time together, whatever." And so yeah,
it's time for a sexy time.
We ended up watching some show. Usually, what we do on Tuesdays. We just finished Terminal List. Oh, we finished Stranger Things too.
I really thought Stranger. Now you're saying season.
I'm sorry, 4. Stranger Things 2. No, the Stranger Things. Yeah.
So you've seen the new season.
Yeah.
Wow. Best season. It's better than even the first season.
Oh, I think it's way better than 2 and 3. It was very enjoyable. I don't know if I'd give it 1 because 1 is so good.
I think it is. And we should sit down and talk to it, and I'll give you reasons why. Because I got to wrap up here. But what are you doing today for the 4th?
Nothing. No, I mean, other than being on Comics Division tonight, that's it. I don't like fireworks. I'm good.
I don't either, but not because of combat, even though I've been around live artillery. And I've never liked fireworks because of it since. And because if you're around, artillery, man, incoming or outgoing, it's fucking scary shit. And I used to tell people the ground slaps the bottom of your boot. You can feel it in your feet. And the first time I heard fireworks after the military, I ducked. It was so gay. Oh, it's the Weak Canadian.
All right, well, that does it for me. That does it for me.
Hey, 70s, we're out of here, man.
Mad's here. Oh, shit, I'm going. I'll see you later.
Thanks for dropping in, buddy.
No, thanks for inviting me. And I just heard you saying something about you being gay, so...
Oh, look,
The normal show.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. It's a basic truth that I, am gay for this show.
Just remember, it's not gay
And I'm
unless
gay for
Mad
my
enjoys it.
chat.
Unless Mad enjoys it, it's not gay.
Yeah, it's like, I've always said, like my son, because my son told me he was gay. I said, "Are you sure? Because it doesn't count until the second time."
That's right. You get a
If you go back for seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a mulligan.
All right.
And he goes, "No, I'm seriously gay, Dad." I went, "Oh, so you did like it? Okay, all right." And so I'm just asking.
Yeah. So he's gay, but he's serious. I mean, isn't gay meant to be happy? I mean,
well, I've always told people, I said historically,
God.
when it comes to the gay community, almost everything that's considered a gay epithet actually came out of the gay community. And
Indeed.
somehow when straight people got a hold of it, it became an epithet.
Yeah, it's their fault that we're bigots. Don't blame us, blame the gays for being gay.
I told
bigotry.
I told someone the other day, I said, the only one that that's used by straight people in a derogatory way that came from the straight community is the words cock and sucker. Everything else, gay, fag.
Jesus.
No, I'm saying it in reference. I'm not saying the word. I'm saying it as a reference.
I don't think Mama Susan cares.
But what I'm trying to think what's one of the other ones. Queer. Fuck, I can't remember.
They took that one back though. They got that one back.
Yeah, well, queer is solid, but even FAG, was meant as a reference to cigarettes.
Well, it is in Britain.
Well, in Britain, it's also that, and it's also referred to as a bundle of sticks that are wrapped.
Well, that's right. Yeah, a massive group of us together is a bundle of we're fags.
But they were referring, using it as a slang way of referring to themselves.
I just got the channel taken down. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it won't happen.
So I just wanted, before we go any further, to wish all my American friends happy Independence Day. You've earned it.
Goddamn right. And if you didn't see what I showed earlier, I will show this for you. Here we go. This actually, it doesn't work today, but it was great yesterday. But it's still, you get the meaning.
That's right. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. And I told you what I did when I was in London, and it was a Saturday morning, and I was 13, and I was with my dad, and it was the only place open, and we got sausages for breakfast, and we're sitting there I'm having a soda and sausage, and Tarzan is on TV, and a bunch of Englishmen, not Brits, but actual Englishmen, were sitting there talking shit about Johnny Weissmuller, as
you do.
An American playing an English lord, and they're just making fun of him. And I started getting really bothered by it. And I wasn't getting triggered. I was getting bothered. And finally, I just decided to do something. My dad, this is one of his favorite moments with me. In the middle of an English pub, I began singing this song in 1814. And it started really quiet when I started. And when I got to the fucking chorus, everybody in that bar shut the fuck up and all were looking at me like, what the fuck? And I continued the song all the way to the end. Do you know the song? In 1814, we took a little trip.
Oh, John, it was a big hit. Yeah. I remember that.
And up from the ground came a
Johnny Horton.
Texas tea. Right? That's the one?
Oh, I'm thinking of a difference, but yeah, I know that now. Yeah.
I'm not alone, Chad. It sounded like he was doing the Beverly Hills Billy. Like,
this is Johnny Horton. Johnny Horton.
When I was in that punk band, Johnny Horton.
Johnny Horton.
When I was in this punk band, I was making fun of my Jehovah's Witness friend. And,
as you should.
And I wrote this song about him, and because he really would annoy me, and he would always want to come around my house and try to convince me to become a Jehovah's Witness. So I'm like, it's not going to happen, dude. So I wrote the song, and his name was Ed Winters, and I think he's dead now. God rest his soul. But at the time, it was like I wrote the song. It was the Beverly Hillbillies. Listen to a story about a man named Ed who couldn't be a Catholic, so he witnessed instead. And then one day he was cutting down some Jews, and in through the door came a whole religious crew. Muslims, Hindus, Catholics, and Jews.
Oh boy, what's that? Oh, I gotta go. Again,
Yes,
not mad.
I
I,
can't hear
love
you.
Mama Susan.
Can't hear you.
No, but I do got to get going. Like we could just keep
Yeah, well,
talking
we're
forever.
at the 2 hour because I wanted to give
Don't
70 a
leave.
few minutes. I didn't feel right just ending it.
I would
But,
just, before he goes, I'd like to give a plug to Mad's Street Smarts on Mad Barber Entertainment. If
Yeah,
you want to
Wednesday.
know how to live your life properly, that's the show for you. Best
so-
life advice.
That has been said.
Forget Jehovah's Witness, forget Scientology.
Yeah.
Street Smarts.
You think Jehovah's Witnesses, you think they get in heaven because they tried? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus, like, okay, you're wrong about everything, but like you gave, like, you know, there was effort.
Well, don't you
that
get
make
some
sense?
marks for effort?
You give effort.
You don't get any marks for effort? Shit, what's the
Yeah,
point
you
of trying
do.
then? What's the point of trying?
The little
Not the
drummer
Catholic
boy.
Church, I got my ass kicked. People ask me, like, who are your bullies when you're in Catholic school? The nuns. They beat the shit out of me.
So tell me not mad.
I used to joke that I had a phobia of either penguins or nuns. I couldn't tell the difference. So, but Penny, no, she says. And if you don't, do you know who Penny is, Matt? That's Dork Knight's mom.
This who?
Dork Knight. Las Vegas. He's with Salty Nerd Guys and with our show. If you don't know who he is, it's okay. It's Penny is his mom. She's awesome. I laughed when she would go over there just to check in on his show and then come over and watch us.
All right, I'm really gonna go before you start another story. I'm heading.
Yeah,
out.
I got to get out of here too, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it was great being here.
I'll see
Bye,
you later,
guys.
buddy.
We'll set something up for that other thing we were talking about, the military thing.
Oh, Dangerous Nerds. I'm going to get a celebrated military author to join us.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you let me know when you're ready, and I will fucking get that. I'll make it happen.
All right, we'll hammer it out later, man. See ya.
All right, buddy.
Bye, 7
Take
days.
care.
Bye,
Bye,
Venezuelan dude.
Venezuelan Mexican. I'm in Mexico by way of Venezuela. This is my Mexican accent. I'm a Texican.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for being here. You got my list, buddy?
Yes. As always.
We have a list.
Oh, here's another Ranger buddy of mine. Secret Circus. That's my buddy Chris.
And there you go.
Yeah, it's interesting. You used to, as you say, you said Texican, but isn't it Texians they used to call themselves way back in the day?
Texicans.
Not Texans, it was Texians.
Well, there's Texians, but also Texican
Yeah.
was what it was back during the day of the Alamo.
Indeed.
And they called
And I've
themselves
been there.
Texicans.
One
Because
of
there
the
were so many
greatest places I've
Mexicans
ever
there
visited.
too. Because it was like North Mexico.
Well,
So-
I know, and I've got the. Well, I mean, I lived there for a few years, but the great James Michener book about Texas, which has a lot of that history in it, although it's a drama, obviously.
Hold on. All right. Okay. I've got my list. So I'm going to thank all you fuckers.
Hey, Cam.
Thanks for being here, guys. Bill Barkley, Brightest Day, Darius Munchausen, Das Wolfen.
Oh,
Did I
yes.
touch my monkey, Das Wolfen? Or as I call him, John. Deleted Scenes, also Stephen. Gap Stargate, Jacob the Critic, Jacob. And he's an actual friend of mine in real life. Kingsport Cal, Kylock. Hope you're doing well, my friend. LDG, Marcos A, Mexican Iron Man. Gary, what? You need to do better shows. That's what he'll say to me. You should do better. Anyway, Monkey Jeebus, one of my two favorite monkeys. Mr. Tickle Trunk, Parrot Head, Penny, Ram Bam. I love Ram Bam. I love that name. Ram Bam 3000. Secret Circus, of course, my friend Chris. Shinatsky. Keeping an eye on you, Shinatsky. The lovely Sherry is here.
Sherry.
I wanted to respond to her, but we got so much caught up in our stories and shit. And Cam's Crash Courses was here, of course. I need to do better. Okay, Shinatsky. Fucking Shinatsky. I made a
There's
great
a lot of
joke
headroom
last
there.
night.
You have a lot of headroom to do better. I mean, let's face it, the bar is pretty low, so
Pretty low.
you got a lot of space.
When compared to Fat Steven Seagal. I just shit on him again, and he's not even here. But Shinatsky, I made a joke on Twitter last night, and he fucking goes all literal on me, like saying, "Well, it doesn't work," or whatever it is he said. And I said, "You're the guy that when you hear the punchline of a joke, everybody's laughing, but you're the one that takes it literally and goes, nobody does that. That doesn't work that way." And it's like, and he goes, "Yeah, that's me."
I don't know about you, but unfortunately, I very often have such a deadpan delivery that people don't know I'm joking, and it gets me into trouble.
Well, with me, because I have, if you don't know this, I'm going to get close to the camera so you can see. I have heterochromia eyes. And let me do the enlarge here.
I'm glad there's something hetero about you.
I have two colored eyes,
right.
Different colors.
Didn't David Bowie have that? David Bowie had that too.
And he also got hit as a kid, and it killed the iris in his eye, so it was full blown all the time, which I thought would have been really bad because he's always in bright lights, and like, holy shit, man, your eye is full blown all the time.
So other than cosmetic effects, what does that do to you?
But with the brown eye, I always tell people I squint with one eye when I'm fucking with people. And so my bullshit eye is the dark brown eye.
So don't play poker then.
If my left eye is open wide, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm telling you the truth. But if I squint like this when I'm saying something, and of course people believe this because it's an utter lie. Because you never know when I'm fucking with you.
So do you play poker?
I have a poker face. I have a real one.
Oh, you do.
I also feel bad because Zoe was like, somebody tell me I have RBF. And I'm like, resting bitch face. Oh, baby, yeah, that's my fault. I'm sorry. And she goes, is that where I got it from? I went, yeah, you got it from me. And she goes, let me see. So I showed her my resting bitch face, which is this.
I can certainly see the bitch.
It's just I look very unhappy. I look miserable. And that's when I'm relaxed. And I have resting bitch face. Solve the riddle, Gerry?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that one. No, fuck you, Shinatsky. I'll say that for another time. But I'm going to end the show. And I want all you to know that I'm so grateful you showed up. At least some of you. About half of you showed up, the regular audience. And I'm so grateful. I hope you guys have a safe holiday here in the United States. If you're overseas, just have a great fucking day.
Just have a great day. Well, it's a day off work for me. It's one of my normal days off work, so it is a great day.
Yeah, I know.
It's fantastic.
Well, before we go, I want you to do one little thing for me. Are you ready? I want you to say, "Stop it, donkey."
Stop it, donkey. Donkey.
You don't sound anything like Shrek.
I can't.
Donkey.
He's got more of a Glaswegian accent.
I know.
Yes, I'm.
And you learned it from was it his father that was Scottish in real life? I knew he grew up in Scotland for a while.
Well, he had some, maybe his father was Scottish, but he actually worked in Scotland for a while on Scottish television before he became famous. So he did spend a few years in Scotland working, so he picked up a lot of stuff there and a lot of stereotypes and so on. And he used them very effectively, I have to say.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, the original Chris Farley audio didn't work. I'm telling you, they nailed it with having him do the character as Scottish.
Yeah, I wonder why he thought of doing that, but it worked, and I thought it was very affectionate of him to do that because he's kind of taking the piss out of Scotland and other things, but yeah, it was quite affectionately
done. Fat bastard.
That's right. Yeah, and fat bastard.
Get you in the belly.
Yeah, and then the whole there's a Piper Doon.
I think the other character I like very much is when he played his dad in the movie So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yeah, there's a Piper Doon. Look at that, guys. Heed. There's an entire planetary system.
Head.
And using the basic rollers.
He's got a head like Sputnik.
So I mean, it's nice because we as Scots, as I'm always complaining about, the fucking Irish suck all the energy out of the Celtic world, and so it's nice that we get a little bit of something.
Fuck yeah, and it's the Welsh. Are you fucking kidding me?
Please don't mention the Welsh. We don't talk about
Last
the
thing
Welsh.
before I fucking go.
It's not unusual.
The least fun I had
be
in the
Welsh.
UK and Ireland
Yeah.
was in Wales. Because every pub I went into, the minute they saw me,
They speak Welsh.
they spoke Welsh.
Yeah.
And that annoyed the shit out of me.
Well, you should just take the piss out of them then. You go, Han Vili och och och.
Well, it's their version of
Clan
Gaelic.
Vili och och och. Yeah.
Well, it's Gaelic. It's their version of Gaelic. Scotland
Yeah.
has its own version of Gaelic.
Yeah, there's a P and a Q Gaelic, and they do pronounce differently. And yeah, but I mean, apart from Tom Jones, what have the Welsh ever done for us?
Richard Burton.
Apart from, I've seen his birthplace. I've seen the house that he was born in.
Dickie Burton.
I've seen his birthplace, Richard Burton. So apart from, and he got to sleep with Elizabeth Taylor a lot. So lucky bastard. Not being married to her, that would be horrible, but just sleeping with her.
And but anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay, come on, think of more. There's got to be more Welsh.
Oh, there's more Welsh. There is, because part of my family is Welsh. The Hammets.
It's very
that's what my
Shakespearean.
mother was. She was a Hammett. And oh my God, I can't remember the other names in our family, but there are other famous Welsh. Tom Jones is
one,
and
Stereophonics. They're Welsh.
What's the other singer? Wasn't he from there? Too, the other big singer like him, lounge singer.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Wasn't he from there?
I don't know. He might have been.
But that's who it was. Engelbert.
I've always held a grudge against that guy for keeping the Beatles off #1 spot in the British charts with Strawberry Fields Forever, Penny Lane, the finest slab of 7-inch vinyl ever made, and he keeps them off #1 with Release Me, which is one of the biggest pieces of shit ever
It's a
recorded.
Pansy song. I hate that song too.
And that broke their run of like 15 #1 hits in Britain, and it was you can't get a better 7-inch single than that. Strawberry Fields.
And
Penny Lane.
this is why young people don't like older people, because it was the older record buyers that did that.
Yeah, please release me, let me go if you insist.
There's all those ladies that are hitting 40 and over.
Yeah, they used to throw their knickers at them.
Yeah, I know.
Soiled knickers. But
It's like it wasn't just Elvis, man. Engelbert Humperdinck and fucking Tom Jones, man. Fucking women.
I like Tom Jones. Seen him in concert. A lot of fun.
Oh, put that back up, Martin.
And the Green Grass of Home. What a great record that is. Beautiful record. Tom
And of
Jones
course, that was John Ford's last film before he took off to serve the U.S. Military as a war correspondent. His job was to capture actual He was there at Midway, man. He shot actual footage of the battle at Midway. Fucking gutsy motherfucker. I've had haggis.
Haggis is great. If you get,
I loved it. It was really good.
Terry Jones was Welsh. So
I really want to taste that. My God.
I've also had what is it? Something pudding.
Black pudding.
Black pudding,
which is blood pudding. You know,
and there's one that I had.
Great.
Bangers and mash is something I enjoyed. And
I'm sure you've enjoyed a few bangers in your time, but
yeah. But you know what my favorite thing to eat when I was in the UK?
Leaving.
Steak and kidney pie.
I see. I like the steak pie part. I never liked the kidney. Bonnie Tyler's Welsh, and I really like Bonnie Tyler. I used to really. like
Bonnie Tyler's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a heart.
She also wrote one of the most beautiful songs ever. Two great songs: "Have a Heart" and what's that one where she says, "I can't make you love me if you don't." That's that's
Bonnie Raitt.
That's Bonnie Raitt. Bonnie Tyler did the.
She did a Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah, Total Eclipse.
I liked her earlier hits. It's a Heartache and Lost in France, stuff like that.
It's really a vampire song.
Beautiful hits.
It's a vampire song. That's why the video is that way. It's crazy.
She did a duet.
Yes,
with
I have.
I've had Rundgren once, which was pretty good.
I lived in the UK, and I actually
Catherine
lived
Zeta-Jones is Welsh. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's Welsh. That's right. Oh,
and she was hot before the plastic surgery.
Yeah, what that fucked up.
Just ruined herself there. Yeah.
But
and Anthony Hopkins, of course.
Oh my God! And Oh my God, hold on. Another great actor was in Alien. He was he played the doctor in the movie Alien, the ship's doctor.
Ian Holm?
Ian Holm.
No, he's Welsh. Okay.
I do believe he is Welsh.
Keep
Either that or
saying
he does the best fucking fake Welsh accent I've ever heard.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anybody else. There's got to be others. I mean,
Now,
some of them
Molly
are pretty
McGuire's was about the Welsh and the Irish, right?
Yeah. Hang on, I got a
We
list
had
here.
Sean Connery.
Oh, Roald Dahl. I forgot about that. Taron Egerton. Well, he's really Michael Sheen, but he's woke as
I love
hell.
Michael Sheen.
I love him as an actor. I love that bit when somebody was reviewing one of those Twilight movies, and he's in them, I think. And they said, "This is absolute garbage," blah blah blah. And then a real actor shows up, Michael Sheen's part. The rest are, "This is terrible." And then a real actor arrives. Shirley Bassey.
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton.
This is me having to go, guys. I am so sorry.
All right, well, this is well because we're getting too Welsh.
Getting too Welsh.
Yeah. Yaki da, Waiaiman. Oh, that's Nor Geordie.
All right, bye.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Thank you.